Okay, we're going to begin the Town of Sangerville Board of Selectmen meeting. It's 5:03, Wednesday, April 3rd, 2019. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
didn't mean to jump the gun on anything.
Oh, okay. I think it's George's last meeting, so he's excited to get going.
No, you're not leaving, are you?
16th of the month.
Gotta feed the world. On to approval, item 2, approval of the minutes March 20, 2019, and March 27, 2019.
Make the motion to approve both A and B.
Second.
Those in favor? All three. Item 3, review of treasurer's warrant, payroll 20, accounts payable 18, 19, 21.
Make a motion to approve A and B as read.
Second?
Those in favor? 3. Open session. On to 5, selectmen's concerns.
No, I'll do number one, sorry. I just thought of something. I'll do it under 9.
Well, what about the property question?
I'm gonna do it under 9.
Okay. Any other concerns? None. On to committee reports.
No,
None.
no.
We-
They just, I know that the rec committee did not get approved for a grant with New Balance. That I do know. That's the only
Which
thing.
was around the equipment.
Playground equipment.
Yeah,
She's on.
Oh, if anybody's got a lock, I'd lock that gate up.
Oh, before that road gets driven.
Oh,
Oh,
that she's beating
It's
pounded.
pretty pounded. Well,
Already?
I thought,
They're
I
ice fishing,
thought Jason had a lock for
Well,
that.
they are, well, just an
It
observation.
It needs to be on there.
Because
Yep.
there's the snowbanks are melting back there, widening it out into the, so well, they've got it.
Yeah,
my only concern is, I agree fully, because I don't want the road to go to hell, but I'm really worried that by locking the gate,
go around.
Oh,
Oh, we'll have to see, but.
I know, but that's my, because I thought the same thing when I come.
But, yeah, so that's been, yeah. well,
I mean, we could even put up a sign that says closed. I mean, that doesn't mean it won't go around it, but.
right, but at least there's a
Honestly,
sign.
I wish we had some of those big Boston barriers and I'd put them right at the road.
Yeah,
Right at the hot
keep
top.
people out.
Keep them off the whole thing.
Haley's
Really,
probably would, for a price, would
Nothing
set
going
2 up
on.
there and then pick them up when we were done.
I don't know, because, but there are people still ice fishing, that's the only,
Well, but I think
don't
we have a
want
right
to
to
save
protect the road.
yeah, exactly, but I don't wanna, I hate the thought of closing that gate and you steer everybody onto that driving
They're
around.
supposed to be picking their ice houses up, right?
I think they have to be off April 1st.
They're
Yeah.
off, yeah.
They're all off.
Shacks are
Keg
off,
was
and now
clear.
it's just extended season.
Well, that was the other thing, but it's melting so fast. I wouldn't even,
But I guess my feeling is regardless of season, we can protect the park.
Oh, sure, definitely, yeah. Yeah, there's nothing says that they can't have to park by the road and walk in if they wanna go, I guess.
Yeah.
Did the season get extended?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
yes.
Oh.
In the
But
northern.
I would say certain
they just- yeah,
county, or parts of the
certain-
county.
April 21st, I think. is when they're gonna extend it.
But is it worth seeing if Haley's would put some barriers up for us?
Well, see, the driveway, I mean, the parking lot's not that bad, but people would park and go in and fit.
Yeah, you gotta keep them from getting in if they're gonna,
But, I mean, in the past, they've shut the gate and people have,
Respected that,
they really have, but
yeah.
it's,
I think that's a minimum.
I think, yeah, definitely,
Yeah,
that's a
yeah, we
minimum.
should definitely close
But
it.
if you hear any sign of anything, I would, yeah, whatever you gotta do.
well,
Okay.
they can steal some from them. Public Works too, there's a bunch.
Where?
A bunch of those police blocks are Public Works, correct?
Yeah. There's a couple up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gotta be well marked though, because then you run into another issue.
Oh, true.
Paint them orange.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good Christmas tree lights on them. Okay, new business. State of Maine property on Route 23.
Down where the welcome sign is on Route 23, they called and wanted to know if the town wants to purchase it. If the town doesn't want to purchase it, I think they're gonna put it out to bid.
How big is it?
It's at least 200 by maybe 200.
No, honestly, isn't that's a few acres there, I think.
Not according to the map.
No?
No.
I couldn't remember.
No.
So
'cause-
is our sign on their land?
Yes.
I wonder why we did that.
I think they allowed it because
okay.
it was a picnic area and they had some picnic tables and
Oh, was it, you said?
What's the price?
they didn't say, just said, are you interested? Was the first question, and it's probably go back and forth, I mean, you can say cap it at a certain price, if you are interested, you can just let them sell it, the only thing that we would be out is the welcome to Sangerville sign.
It would be interesting to know what they're thinking,
Yeah, I'm feeling
and if
we ought
there's
to at
any
least know.
stipulations.
Alright, so you were interested, I
Well,
think that was the first question is, are you even interested?
Potentially.
Yeah, we would rather not move our sign.
Alright, interested in, any stipulations?
So is it big enough to put, for example, a trailer on?
Yes,
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Which,
it's the 200 by 200 required,
yeah,
road frontage. Yeah.
I mean, you're not, if that happened, you're not, probably not gonna get any tax revenue either.
The only honestly was, just kind of throwing it out there, but if the price was right for the town to purchase it, would it be worth purchasing and then dividing, then cutting out that piece for the sign? And you got adjacent landowners right there, maybe they would have an interest. Cause I know the one above it doesn't have much property.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so, I mean, that's no idea, but this kind of thinking about the whole thing.
And the state mentioned that too, was to check with.
The abutters.
The abutters, because they weren't sure there was enough road frontage, because we don't really have zoning or a land use ordinance, but I know that either Jerry or George, one of them has mentioned you've gotta have a certain road frontage to be able to put a building in.
But I like that idea, because you could even work out something with the abutter, that the sign stays there indefinitely.
Sure.
That's part of the
It
deal.
would be like an easement, like
Yeah.
you would give
Yeah,
Yeah, you could write
electric
it,
or
Sure.
telephone.
write it in that if, whatever, if the town didn't maintain it for 5 years, it's null and void.
Yeah,
So I mean, down the road, if the town decided we don't want the sign there anymore, well,
just pull it.
it automatically would go back to them, but.
Well, then
The price is everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, but then the other thing to think about is that if an abutter buys it and we can just carve out that little piece for us. As
Yeah.
opposed to our buying it.
Well, the
You know.
interesting thing would be if the price is,
right,
it's the price. I
Right,
mean, if the
right.
price is low enough, we could dovetail the whole thing with the abutters.
right.
Right, if they're interested.
Because we're not really
Yeah.
looking to make a profit
No.
necessarily, I don't think. So, yeah, I guess that's,
Yeah, that's interesting that they want to sell it.
I guess they're trying to get rid
Make
of.
money.
Yeah,
Well, it's kind of the same topic, but one thing that's always, it took me forever to find this, but if you look on the tax, the state of Maine owns a piece of property, it's out on Dowdy Hill, is how it's listed on the tax map. And so it's in that map as far as from the Dover line up Dowdy Hill Road. And I've hunted that map,
it's in the back.
it's the railroad bed.
Ah.
But it's, if you look on the, the tax sheet, it's a fair amount of acreage that you wouldn't correlate to being the railroad bed. And finally, the last time I was in there, I found it. You can see the number. It's really tiny in the railroad bed with a circle on it, but I never would have
Okay,
suspected
yeah,
that
'cause
that's.
it comes, it's right
Yeah,
up past us. and
Yep,
that-
but it's all the way, it's all on that one map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that is the other piece that the state does own, so it's on us.
B, motor vehicle agent.
You will have to appoint a new motor vehicle agent, because I am currently the motor vehicle agent. So I would suggest Doreen, she's got 7 years in the office, she's done all the classes.
I think that
Yeah,
seems like
that
a
seems
reasonable
like a-
approach.
There are
Do
2
you have to do
forms.
that now? I mean. are we
You
okay
might as
till
well do
June?
it.
Was it? All right, yeah, I'm just
It
asking.
doesn't matter, I would
Okay.
just do it now, I mean, just get it done. It doesn't matter either way.
Did you
If do
discuss it with
now,
her?
yeah, if you do it now, cause once you assign a new agent, you're like on probation for a certain amount of time.
Oh,
So get the clock ticking
Yep,
Good.
okay.
is what I would do. So down here, there's 2 spaces, I don't need all 3 signatures. And then I do need on this one, this is the appointment and a motion.
And obviously Doreen is happy to take on that role.
Yeah.
And is it, I mean,
It's just somebody in the office that answers to motor vehicle when they call and say, you have made a mistake on this registration, or you
Okay.
didn't set your, you're missing $8 out of your report, or it's just somebody that they can call
It's
and
their
say,
contact.
their point
who is
person?
responsible, yeah.
Okay. I'll make a motion to appoint Doreen Foss as our new motor vehicle agent, starting today. This evening.
Second.
Any further discussion? Vote? It's unanimous.
Right at the bottom. Well, there's two lines,
One was for the agent.
and then the municipal officers would be you three, or two.
Okay.
But Doreen gets a top line.
Yep.
So you sign under, do I sign above? or-
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
And I don't need to sign.
It's,
You might as
there's
well,
room for you,
because
there's room for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mike.
he's signed.
We'll let you be top one, how's that?
Not the very, very top.
No,
'cause that's
the municipal.
Doreen, yeah.
Moving on to old business, Ryan?
Yeah, so I guess where we're at is, have you, I guess Lois talked to some people about that?
I think I emailed you the information as I gathered it. I had talked to Toby, and Chris, he was just little when they did it. So he talked to Bill, and he said that they just came to the town office and the manager signed a permission and said, here you go. They did it through I think it's this Nature Soil Conservancy, whatever that one is.
NRCS.
Yeah, I
which
think
is
they had done it through them
which
as
is
well.
we're going through this.
Yeah, and they did own both sides of the road. They said when they put the pipe through that they made sure that there were no breaks in the pipe. It was one solid piece that went through the road. And they just came to the town office, the town manager signed off and said, here you go, and that was good enough at the time, because that was 20 years or so ago. When I talked to Phil Curtis, he said, a good idea would be to put it through a culvert. That was his first question. Are there any culverts nearby? He said you don't want to put in a culvert because you're going to get the same thing that we've got now with frost heaves and stuff. You're disturbing that. He said so the preferred method, if there's not a culvert, is to do boring through there. And he said that as far as liability, you would give them like a right-of-way like you would for electric or power lines or phone lines. So an easement of some sort would be, and I'm sure whatever liability goes with that easement, whatever the easement, however it's worded, it's a standard easement.
Is Toby's a direct burial? It's not in any sort of
Correct.
conduit?
Correct.
Okay, so his is direct burial.
Yeah.
I wonder how deep
And
it
his
is.
was bored. That's pavement.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure if
I don't know
his
when
is
they
in-
put it in.
No, that was probably dirt road then.
Yeah.
It was dirt then.
Yeah.
But it's gotta be down there deep enough, it's gotta be,
Oh, yeah,
below
there's no-
ditching.
Yeah, there's no
I mean,
pump there.
And I think he said it's like an 8-inch,
Oh, wow.
6 or an 8-inch pipe. It's really
Yeah,
a
they have
big pipe.
one. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
talking
it's
2-inch
yeah.
pipe
Yeah.
for
So-
us. And so basically he said that the culvert is the preferred option if there is.
Phil Curtis did, yeah.
So there is an existing culvert that is not in exactly the ideal place, but it is workable. And I had the representative from NRCS come out today and look at it. In his mind, and I guess because he works for the government, it's easier to go the straight shot under the road. That's like what they prefer, but if we have to use the culvert, we can. So I wonder if it just makes sense to get approval or disapproval on boring across the road and then have the culvert be the second option. Does that make sense? And if you guys say, no, don't bore across the road, then.
Then the
say,
culvert's the
okay, can we
default.
use the culvert?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I wonder how many people are using culverts that we never even ever know about.
A lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just
Yeah.
standard
I mean,
operating
honestly,
procedure.
Yeah, if this wasn't going through a government application, I would just run it through the culverts.
Unless it ever gets plugged, we'd never
Well,
know.
And honestly, I would rather tell you you can't bore, my opinion, I'd
Right.
rather say, I don't want you to bore through
And
the
then
road,
sort
but I
of
don't wanna
force
tell
your
you,
hand.
probably
So
wouldn't
that-
tell you that you can
Yeah,
use the
so
culvert
that would
either.
be the process for this application, is for you guys to tell me that I can't bore across the road.
And then you
Yeah.
And then I say, okay, can I use the culvert? And you say, yes, here's a signed piece of paper. I would think.
I just assume you didn't ask.
I need something.
did,
that
though.
I
Have
think
written
for
He
that.
did.
I know.
But I had to, because.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
don't
totally
wanna
appreciate
approve this without something from the
a
town.
document.
And when it goes through the culvert, are we still in the same situation with, a right of way and that type of thing, or are we just, okay.
We
So
don't-
I mean, unless you want us to.
He only needs us because
know.
he needs to finish this form.
Right,
for the grant.
right,
Yeah.
right.
It's just for the.
I'd make a motion to not allow boring.
And I would second that.
And any further discussion?
Nope.
I'll make a motion to allow him to use the culvert.
Second?
Any further discussion? You're good to go.
So, but I do need something in writing.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll get something typed up and have them, I'll leave it right in the office, they can come in and sign it, and you can do it by Friday?
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
you have a copy of the minutes, same thing, so it's in writing.
Well, we'll do both, I mean, it's,
Yep.
So, okay, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, in fact, if you got a few minutes today, we'll sign them over
We
here.
can-
I don't mind.
Okay.
We're smoking pretty quick here.
Yep.
Should I stick around and wait for it, or? Yeah, that's fine. No judgment?
I mean, those paperwork.
Yeah.
Is
It works
there
for the government.
Yeah, no.
anything further on this, Ryan?
I guess not, I mean,
Okay.
so, yeah, normally, since we're using the culvert, there's nothing.
Good luck.
Just have to
Yeah.
take it out.
We'll be planting soon,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so.
fair enough.
Correspondence?
I did receive a letter today, here. Says to Town Manager, Board of Selectmen, residents of Sangerville. It appears that nobody is paying attention. Everyone in town should be concerned about the direction the town is headed. Just because things are quiet around town doesn't mean good things are happening. For example, the 10-year span from 2007 to 2017, our mill rate went up approximately 6 points, which in hindsight may sound like a lot until you really take a look at things going on in that 10 years. But now we seem to be steady with a small decrease at a time when everything around us has gone up, like groceries, utilities, school budgets, and many other things in our everyday lives. Would you rather have small and steady increases or be surprised when it jumps unexpectedly and you have already earmarked your income to pay for something else? What have we lost for a small decrease in the mill rate? We lost our public works. You know, the department that handled all the things around town that everyone called to complain about, while doing a great job at keeping roadwork projects moving and doing the things that keep the town looking tidy. What will we lose next? Will it be the fire department? Then maybe the town office staff? Maybe everyone will be happy going to Guilford, Dexter, Dover, or even Bangor for the same services we use to get in our town. In the last 12 years, we have had 7 town managers, soon to be 8. With every change, the reins get tighter and tighter to the point that the town manager now cannot do the job they are hired to do. Do we know who is really calling all the shots? If nobody ever goes to selectmen's meetings, we don't know what's being discussed or recorded, especially since the posted agendas have almost no information until the meeting. What happened to the transparency? I guess it can be shut off. A concerned resident.
There's no name to it?
Nope. No.
Ha.
So,
Wow.
no return.
Can I see that?
Sure.
Real concern.
Well, it's unfortunate that somebody would not put their name on it, because, I mean, then it gives us the ability to address concerns. I mean, you know,
Yeah, I mean, your
Yeah.
sincerity really is calling into question if you send an anonymous letter and you've never attended a meeting.
right.
And actually, all of our meetings are recorded, every action's always been on tape.
Pretty transparent. And I think we've paid more in the last couple of years without an increase than's been done in a
Yes,
very long
I
time.
said, we've actually
So,
paved more road in 2 years than I think we have in 10.
I mean,
And as far as
I
Public
mean,
Works goes,
yeah,
everything's working.
I mean, our meetings are taped, so that's transparent. Our agendas, I mean, I suppose you could, we
There
could,
is sometimes at last minute, I mean, it's,
hmm,
I mean, technically by law, you don't have to post an agenda. So,
right,
and you don't have to, I mean, the minutes are done and on
I've
more
been
than they
trying
need to be.
yeah,
yeah.
The recordings definitely never have to be online.
right,
I don't know how much more we're
And
not
that
having
was-
anybody here,
That was
we're
totally
doing,
our decision.
we're doing everything we can so people know what's going
Right.
on. So I'm kinda a little taken on that whole thing, so.
Right, and I, you know, obviously people have the right to write a letter anonymously, but it really doesn't help us, I mean, to be able to discuss this with somebody who is concerned, because,
If you wanna help, get involved.
yeah,
yeah.
Otherwise, you're just
I mean,
sniping.
Well, and I think that's what they're saying too, is get involved.
right.
That's my take on it is, you know.
Maybe they need to look in the mirror. All right, cool.
Another one,
Oh, no.
I think I emailed, I know, I think I emailed you this one. This one I think came last week from the Foxcroft Academy about the ice arena.
Yes,
Oh, I
And
didn't
it's-
see that.
Oh, you didn't, I think I scanned it and emailed it.
I remember seeing it.
I didn't-
They've had a couple of meetings and they're just trying to keep everybody posted. They think it'll be completed by August.
Wow. Wow, amazing.
Is that it?
No, I got one more.
Okay.
So this one is from me to you. It says, Dear Board, first I want to say thank you to the board for giving me the opportunity to work with such a great community and its residents. While I will miss working with the citizens and staff of Sangerville, it is time for me to look ahead to my future. Please accept this letter as my resignation as town manager for the town of Sangerville. According to my contract, I must give a 45-day notice. May 18th will complete my 45-day notice. However, I plan on taking 2 weeks vacation beginning on May 6th to May 17th. Therefore, my actual last day of work will be Friday, May 3rd.
Okay.
Should we make a motion to accept that?
Yes.
Okay, I will make a motion to accept our town manager, Lois Jones' letter of resignation
As read.
as read.
Second.
Those in favor? It's unanimous. Good luck to you. Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you, Lois.
If you choose not to keep me until May 3rd, just keep in mind next week I have things that need to be done next week because they're going to training and the liens and stuff. We're in the middle of that, so.
So I think, I mean,
We were planning on keeping you till
Yeah.
June 18th, so it's not a problem.
so, just a question with regard to that training, because I saw it on the calendar. What is that training? I know, I'm sure you
It's
told us.
tax liens.
Oh, interesting.
It's tax liens, yeah.
So is it training off-site?
Yes. Oh, yes, it's Stu Marcoon from Lemoyne does it, and I think it's either Bangor or Augusta, I'm not sure which it is. But I will be in the office. Originally I was scheduled to go to a different training, pay and wage something. But I've canceled that because there's no point for me to take that at this point. So I will be here, so I took that off the homepage,
Oh, okay.
and I'll take the notices off
Okay.
as well. So
Oh,
I will
good.
be here
Good, good.
Thursday on the 11th.
Very good. So the office will be open?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for that, too.
Okay. Additional agenda item.
Or I was just gonna do it as a correspondence, but, because that's
Okay.
really, I had somebody send me a message on the Jordan property. And maybe it's totally irrelevant, and I guess it's kinda hearsay, so I don't know what I just wanna make sure you knew about it, and, basically what they said was that when Mrs. Jordan went into the nursing home, there was some paperwork signed that the nursing home would end up having possession of that property.
There's nothing recorded in the
No,
registry of deeds. And if you have assets, you need to cover your assets by recording it at the registry of deeds.
And that, I am fully agree, so that's why it was
And
sent to me,
yeah.
and I just,
But once, if
I-
somebody makes us aware, of if this is a rumor. I mean,
Well,
should
no,
we
I
do-
mean, the family themselves told me that, Main Care or whatever, DHHS or something, said they have but it's not recorded in the registry. If it's not recorded,
It's not active.
Is our ownership now recorded in the registry?
yeah, cause our liens are in there,
And nobody can get in front of us now.
correct.
First come, first served, sort of as
That's
they're
my
registered.
understanding, yeah.
I just would want to
Wow.
check and make sure we're 100%, because we don't wanna get embroiled in any kind of a legal battle over $2,300 worth of taxes. So,
Well, I had originally sent this one to Katie, I think, at Redmond and Winchell.
Yep.
And the only thing that,
I believe you.
MMA may have
I
an
agree,
opinion
but
too, but we're probably just fine. But
Wanna
I
make
just
sure, 'cause
well, I think I have an opinion from either Katie or MMA, and I will go back and look through it. The only thing that Katie recommended that we do, which I did, was that alternative disposal, where we get to have to hire a real estate agent.
Oh.
You know, we have to give them the opportunity to say, we want you to hire a real estate agent to dispose of the property. But,
Okay.
I mean,
It's just that
Well, I mean, I don't believe it's up to us in any way, shape, or form to chase any of this type of a thing, but I was more concerned, where I kinda knew about this now, making sure that you was, cause I didn't know what you knew. Wanna
Yeah.
make sure you knew,
I will
and then make
double
sure
check.
something can't come around and bite
Well,
us off.
because if
that's
we
all.
sell it to somebody and we're aware of a rumor, it might be incumbent upon us to at least share that rumor with the person who buys it. I
well,
don't,
there is a disclosure that says, you know, at the bottom
Right.
of the bid packet that says, it's your responsibility as the buyer
Okay.
to do your research at the registry of deeds. I mean, if it's,
But there's nothing there anyway, so.
there's nothing there, because
there
I
was
have
one
done
lien
that
with a
research.
roofing company and that was it.
Yes.
Well, it was
yes.
it was actually a grant, but.
It was a grant, it was a
Yeah.
CDBG, and Sangerville was part of that. It was
Yeah.
Parkman, Wellington, Sangerville,
yeah.
and whatever the fourth
then
town
it
was,
had
and it was 10 years.
Yeah, so many
and
years
so
of
many-
depreciated.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, there's still a couple of years left,
Yeah.
which might
It was
be
at the
another-
$2,400 or
Yeah,
something like that.
that.
Can't remember the exact number.
Yeah.
And when we discussed it last meeting, you did mention, you know, a question mark whether the nursing home had some sort of, you did mention that, you know, that, I don't know whether you'd heard
The
that
state-
or.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
the
because
state.
the family told me, I mean, they came right in and
Oh.
said, you know, the state says it's theirs, and I'm like, well, the state doesn't have anything in the registry of deeds.
Whoa.
And my understanding is ownership is registry of deeds.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have pieces of paper tucked under, you know,
Right.
unless it's registered. So maybe they intended to and never got done, or.
Yeah, it could just be a
We
clerical
know
error.
deeds can get missed.
Oh, yes.
Personally, just-
Same here,
Yeah.
and same here. I've had,
I've-
yep.
2 years dealing with a situation.
Yeah,
due to-
that's true.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
Yep, it's easy.
But I wasn't a matter of not, it was
Right.
brought to me, so I
Yeah.
just wanna make sure it was brought up to you, so. That was all. It wasn't, that's why I didn't do it under concern, cause I wasn't concerned, I just wanted.
Right.
I wonder if they filed it, I'll search it by first name
Oh.
instead of last name, because usually when I go in the registry, I search by the first name, the last name.
And is the house under the name of ownership, under the name of the person that's in the nursing home?
Yeah.
Or, so there's no.
There's no deed, just
Aha.
their deed.
Right.
Okay, but it may be for.
It's online, you can go in very easily and do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a matter of seconds, you can
Search
rate
it.
The
online
name
and
thing,
type the name in.
why would, even if they
Shows
filed it
everything.
under, you mean under the owner's first name by mistake? Would
Because-
that be valid?
But it still should have, it should
would be
have the
valid,
deed
but-
number linked to it. If they put it-
Unless they didn't have a deed book and page marked on their claim to it, I guess.
Somehow, something would have had to come through the town office.
I would have thought,
I mean-
it's gotta be somewhere in the registry, it really,
Right, I mean,
Did you, was it the state or the nursing home that had the lien?
Which situation are you talking?
In your,
No, that's
rumor.
actually, no, my rumor was that the nursing home, when she entered the nursing home, supposedly there was some paperwork signed at the nursing home that would put it into their hands. But I believe she's, that's.
see, I wasn't aware that nursing homes got involved in
No,
They
because-
basically would
'cause they get
direct that
paid
to the
by-
state,
Sure.
the state
Right,
would
they
pay
get-
them, and
Well,
then,
it
yeah.
could be
Exactly.
when she went in to
The
that
st- right.
situation, there was all kinds of paperwork, meaning,
Right,
so, I mean,
And
like I
got
said,
signed over.
I don't have real reliable.
right,
I just wanted to make sure, as what was told to me, that we.
right.
I
I
don't
will
know a lot of
further
the
question,
details.
Katie on that one and spell it out a little bit more, cause I'm pretty sure I said that in there, my original,
And you, yeah, as I said, you mentioned it to us, so I'm sure you ran that by her as well,
Yeah.
so, but anyway, it's worth.
yeah.
Okay, anything else? Executive session? I think we do have some things to talk about, and while we do that, perhaps you could get Ryan's.
Yeah, I will
Okay,
do that,
we'll sign it.
I have something in executive session
Okay.
too, so.
Okay,
Do you wanna start with us, or do you wanna finish with us?
Let's start with you so I can go.
Yep.
okay.
And then I can go
Okay.
do,
Yep.
type his thing up.
So I'll make a motion to go into executive session, MRS 4056A.
Second.
Those in favor? We're now in executive session. It's,
Went to personnel or?
Yes.
yes, 5:35. Okay, it's 6:03, and we're going to come out of executive session and re-adjourn our meeting.
Okay, and we are taking action?
We are taking an action, yes.
And so I would like to make a motion that we grant the office staff the budgeted raises as proposed by our town manager, effective May 1st.
Second.
Any further discussion? None? We've all voted in favor. I make a motion that we adjourn at 6:04.
Second?
Any further discussion?
No.
All in favor?